Milos Kerkez and his family have reportedly arrived in England earlier this week. As part of the final stages of his transfer to Liverpool, his arrival marks a significant step toward completing a deal that has been under negotiation between Liverpool and Bournemouth for some time. The Athletic previously reported that Kerkez was scheduled to return to England on Monday, and it appears that everything is proceeding according to plan, and Kerkez is expected to undergo a medical in the near future before signing a long-term 5-year contract with the Reds. The agreement was reached after several weeks of intense negotiations, particularly concerning the transfer fee, as Liverpool have finally agreed to meet Bournemouth's asking price of £40 million.
More news to tell us on Liverpool concerning Kwanzaa, an interesting game.
Yeah, two players, one potentially leaving Liverpool. Jarell Quansah, he's out with the England under-21s at the moment. We understand there's a deal that's been agreed with Bayer Leverkusen, which is around €40 million, around £34 million. However, that won't happen imminently because he's still in a major tournament. So that will probably happen after the tournament is done. But we understand that one, club to club, is virtually all but agreed. Just a case of medical and personal terms to be sorted for Jarell Quansah. But it means that Arne Slot is going to lose a centre-back. We also know that Konate is going into the last year of his Liverpool contract. So therefore, potentially, do they have their eye on bringing in centre-backs? Yes, they do. One player of interest, but yet to have any formal kind of dialogue with Crystal Palace is the Crystal Palace defender Mark Gay. He's into the last year of his contract. Of course, an FA Cup winner, someone that's been watched by a number of other Premier League sides. There was that long, ongoing pursuit from Newcastle last.
Club's latest move in the transfer market. This free agent, highly rated for his clinical finishing and sharp movement off the ball, is expected to be a direct replacement for Darwin Núñez, who is reportedly on the verge of sealing a big money move to the Saudi League. With Núñez's future now seemingly headed away from Anfield, Liverpool's swift action in securing this signing reflects their strategic planning and intent to remain competitive at the top level.
Summer, where I think it was their fourth or their fifth offer got rejected by Crystal Palace, which is around £65 million. But he's another player into the last 12 months of his contract, and because of that Premier League experience, there are a number of sides interested in him, one of those being Liverpool.
And what about what's going on at Bournemouth? Because we know Liverpool potentially about to sign a player from Bournemouth. What about other outgoings as well?
Yeah, that will be Milos Kerkez. We know that deal is agreed, £40 million. He's likely to have his medical on Tuesday, so that will get confirmed probably Tuesday night, Wednesday. And in terms of the other players potentially leaving Bournemouth, and the fans won't like me for saying this, but Milos Kerkez looks like he could potentially have played his last game for Bournemouth. There was a second offer from PSG this week that was rejected. We understand that offer to be £55 million. Bournemouth value him upwards of £70 million. So whether PSG, the European champions, decide to go in again for Milos Kerkez, the 22-year-old Ukrainian centre-back, only time will tell. But you'd imagine if they go for a first and second offer, their pursuit of the player is going to continue until they get their man. They just have to pay what Bournemouth want.
OK, what's going on with Brian and Mbeumo? Because I was just asking Sebastian Bass on there whether he'd like to see him at Tottenham, but Manchester United seem to be in the driving seat.
At the moment, it feels like he's headed to Old Trafford. We know that there were a number of sides that were interested in Brian Mbeumo. His record since joining Brentford in 2019 has been phenomenal. He's just coming off the back of his best ever season with regards to goals and assists. He's a key part of that Brentford side. But once again, his contract is running down, hence why Manchester United are seeing this as an opportunity. We know that there is interest from Tottenham as well. We know that there were other sides in the Premier League that were keen on Mbeumo, but it looks like he's heading to Old Trafford. They're just preparing a second offer, which they're hoping will get the player.